Hi, everybody, and welcome to Get Shit Done's Tactical Tuesdays. Thank you for joining me if you're coming on live, and as well, thank you and welcome on the replay. If you find value in this, please feel free to share it out to anybody that you think would find it useful. And I love comments, so please leave comments. If you have any questions during the training, please be sure to drop those in the comments, and I'll see if I can't get to them live. If I'm not able to answer questions live, if I miss them by chance, then I will definitely come back and answer them afterwards. So please, if you have questions, make sure you're leaving them in the comments for me. So again, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Today is week 4 of this Trello training series, and today is super duper exciting. I'm going to be sharing my content planning Trello board. Hey, Stephen, glad you're here. So I'm going to be sharing how I plan content for months in advance using Trello with this very, very simple system. I'm sharing a few tips that I got from coaches that I've worked with in the past. I'm sharing some of my systems. This thing is a beautiful, streamlined, lovey-dovey thing. So you're going to like this. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy, and I help online solopreneurs interpret and heal functional chaos by establishing simple foundational practices to support sustainable growth and freedom. So I help you get your stuff together so that you're no longer overwhelmed and stressed out, which I see so many solopreneurs overwhelmed, stressed out, worried about all the things and never enough time to do anything. So I put these systems together so that you can actually get shit done and, you know, still retain your hairline and all that good stuff, because stress does horrible things to you. Anyway, so moving on. The content planning board. I'm just going to open it up here, and I have several different lists here. So I'm just going to walk through how I plan out how I plan out a weekly blog post as well as a newsletter to my list, 3 Facebook Lives per week, YouTube videos. What else do? I share to LinkedIn. I create Facebook notes. I do all sorts of things, but a lot of what I do is repurposing content. So first of all, I'm going to start with the blogging, because this is where it all began. So I wanted to do a weekly blog, and I was really struggling to come up with content week after week after week. It was always a struggle to come up with the topic for the week. It was a last minute thing, like, oh my God, I need to figure out what I'm going to write today. And it was hard to be creative when I didn't have a system in place to streamline this. So I received this blog post template from a coach that I worked with, and I'll just open it up. So basically what she did was she worked with me on all these different questions, and then we worked across into the different types of blog posts there are. So just for an example, she asked me questions like, what do your clients struggle with the most? Well, they're overwhelmed. They want to know how to manage all the things. Another thing she asked me was, what language do I use when speaking to my clients the most? And a lot of it is about simple systems, foundational practices, sustainable business, things like that. And so those got dropped into this questions column. And by the time we were done, she went through quite a few different questions about what my clients need and want, how I support my clients, you know, what are the top 10 tips or tricks there are to getting shit done, etc., etc. And so by the time we were done, this column here had over 100 different ideas in it. Boom, 100 and some blog posts. So then what we did is we started working across the spreadsheet. So there's several different types of blog posts that you can write, and these canned responses is just an example. So a canned response is an email that kind of, when somebody emails you, it automatically responds with something that's already pre-written. So a how-to blog would be, you know, why you'd want to use canned responses, and here's how to use them. An entertaining post might be, you know, how to waste an hour of your work day every single day using canned responses. I don't know. I'm just making shit up here. A personal one might be a case study of yourself or of a client that uses canned responses in a particularly clever way. A cheat sheet might be a tutorial video of you setting up the canned responses and actually showing people how to do it. And newsjacking is working off of current events in the news. So, you know, Trump did something silly on Twitter. It's a canned response. I don't know. I always pick on Trump. And a list would be, you know, 10 reasons canned responses are your new best friend. So you can actually take all this list of 100 and some different questions and expand it out into 6 different blog post types. And you've got blog content for like 6 years. So all it is just brainstorming these questions and then start working across. Super easy to do. So what came out of this was these questions down here in this highlighted yellow section. I had the 10 things, or the top 10 tips that I give to people on how to get shit done. So this became my blog post series, which is currently happening, called the 10 Commandments of Getting Shit Done. So it became a checklist in Trello. So now every week when I know it's time to write a blog post, I just pop into this Trello card and I go, okay, yep, we're talking about simple foundational systems this week. So I already know my topic for my blog post this week. And so when it comes time to actually write the blog post, it's a lot easier to figure out what I need to talk about and what I need to write about. So that's how I planned out all my blog posts. Now, once I've done that, with this same blog post template list, all of these different topics, I can then go in and create Facebook Live series. So as most of you know, I'm doing Trello systems for Tactical Tuesdays. So I've got a series planned out. So I am good for content until the beginning of March. I have it all planned out. And as I'm going along, I kind of brainstorm other ideas on what else I can share as the next series. So for Thinking Thursdays, we all know I'm doing the 10 Commandments of Getting Shit Done. There it is, repurposed content. So I write my blog post on Wednesday, I do the Facebook Live on Thursday, and my newsletter links to my blog post on Friday. So everybody in my audience is seeing it. It's a simple series. And so then I'm good for content for the next, 5-6 weeks. So it's really easy to plan ahead. Foundation Fridays, again, I'm doing a business planning, flexible business planning for solopreneurs. So right now this week I'm doing the content plan. So you'll be seeing this again on Friday, but this is how I plan out my content. And so I'm good until the end of February for Facebook Live content planning. And then I've got an idea for other things I can talk about after that. So what I'll do is just create another 7 to 10 week series so that my content is planned out in advance and I'm not struggling and frantically searching for something to write about or talk about on my Facebook Lives. So then the next thing we've got is I've got this weekly card, and this is just, I literally just copy this card every week. So I've created a checklist. So I've got my Facebook Lives, I do 3 a week. I've got my blog post, I do 1 a week. And then what I do with that blog post that sits on my website is on Fridays, after it goes out to my newsletter list, I actually take that content and create a Facebook page note, which is a new feature in Facebook. And I create that on my Facebook page, and that goes out to anybody who has liked my business page. So I've repurposed that content. It's literally the exact same thing, maybe with a couple of tweaks in it. That's about it. In my newsletter, like I said, I link to my blog post. So that one's super easy. All I do is write a quick little blurb, link to my blog post, and I'm done. My newsletters are never more than like a paragraph long because who reads emails anymore? So I just link to the blog post. If people want to read it, great. If they don't, it's not a big deal. So then I have a quick promotion plan for what I do with just my content. So I share out my Facebook Lives every morning when I'm running them. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I go into my Facebook groups that I'm a member of, that I'm allowed to promote in, and I will share what the topic is for today. I'll share some information about that and where they can come to join me live. I will share it on my personal profile because I do share a lot about my business on my personal profile. And I also share it out to LinkedIn to announce that as well. I do my daily action social media strategy, which most of you know about. I will leave the link to that in the comments if somebody doesn't have it. It's a quick 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week strategy that has helped me book up to 10 sales calls per week when I use it consistently. And then I share my blog post on Facebook. So I actually take the link from my website and share that directly to Facebook. And that goes on my Facebook page and my profile. So I'm repurposing a lot. And actually, I missed a piece in here. I actually share these. You could. So not only am I doing Facebook Lives and bringing people to my Facebook page and creating an audience there, but I've also started developing a subscriber list in YouTube, because all I do is just download the Facebook Live once it's complete and upload it to YouTube. So I've repurposed my content. Another thing you can do here to repurpose is to actually transcribe the video, and then that becomes a blog post in itself. It can become small social media blurbs, all sorts of good things. So that is how I do all of that. And I hope that's pretty straightforward and clear. I know I went really super fast, but that's how I roll, you know, get shit done. So I'm going to check this off because I have done Tactical Tuesdays now, and I'm going to change the due date to tomorrow because I'm writing a blog post tomorrow. But I'm going to change the time to the time when I actually sit down to do content creation. That's done. And then all I have to do is go into this Tactical Tuesdays. I've already checked off content planning, but normally I would check that off. And then I change the due date again to next Tuesday. So then I know everything's done, all organized, super duper streamlined. What is your YouTube link so you can subscribe? Steve and I will also drop that in the comments after I am done this video for you. So I'll leave my social media strategy and my YouTube link for everybody. And I will also leave a link to schedule a 30-minute call with me. I know that some of this Trello stuff can be super overwhelming and it seems really intense, but once you have the systems in place, it's actually really easy. So I am happy to hop on a 30-minute Dish the Dirt call with anyone who's interested to help you start setting these things up and walk you through the process so that you can start using this system in order to create consistent content, to communicate with your audience on a regular basis, build your list, and get shit done. So I will leave all 3 links in the comments. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will definitely get back to those. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day.